Hey, everybody. No, it's not a wrestling podcast, guys. It is the first episode of Tech the Gate podcast. Um, welcome to the show. I'm James. Normally, I have to change my nameplate for this, but normally I am the JFB. But my name is James Falcon. I am a filmmaker. I've been a filmmaker for I want to say going on 20 plus years, like 20, almost 25 years. If there's a department and a position on a film set, I have done it. And sometimes on certain film sets, I've done more than just one. So, um, but my love of film is what made me become a filmmaker. And I consume movies, film, TV shows. I just consume content. I've done this since the age of 12 when my mom and dad gave me a video rental card for the Quick Stop video down the street. And I hustled my ass off, side jobs back in the 80's, baby. So I could afford to go buy movies and go rent movies. Like, that's how passionate I am. I speak in film. I speak in movie. Tiffany's here. All right. Yeah.
The answer is yes. Always yes.
Yes. Yes. Always yes.
This whole episode might be a red flag. So
Yeah.
Welcome to the Red Flag Show.
But I wanted to do a podcast for a while about my love of just movies. And when I say movies, I mean films that are approachable and films that you have to be kind of a cinema nerd to like. And that's kind of why I really wanted to do this show. I wanted to flex, if you will, just about my love of film. There are two things I'm very passionate about. That is professional wrestling and film and TV.
So let me just say this: that
Yeah.
this is JFB's podcast.
Yeah, this is mine.
This is his.
Yeah.
The AFW Network always wants to like branch out into other stuff and be an entertainment company rather than just a wrestling show. So we've got other ideas that are going. And eventually, we'll have a cooking show. We'll do it all.
I love it.
We have puppet shows on here.
I love it.
The all puppet show.
I'll change my nameplate at a later time, but let's introduce the two guys I brought along for this ride. The guy right next to me.
What's everybody?
Yeah.
I'm Joe. You all usually know me as EVP Joe. But you know what? After what JFB said, all I can say is I just watch movies and I consume them. I have no other connection to the movie business. I just love to watch movies and talk about them.
What about that guy down below?
I am Aaron. I am me, and I like the idea of just being ourselves.
Yeah,
no character work.
Yeah, and of course, since I'm Aaron, this is Nightwing.
Yeah,
he doesn't have to he uses his gimmick name.
Yeah, all this.
He doesn't get to be a cat. Is your cat still there? Or did he leave?
Oh, my cat is gone. Yeah, she ran. Now, with that said, I know this is a movie, but I'm not going to not call you JFB. I can't call you James.
Fine.
It just feels weird.
You can be James, but we'll still call you JFB.
That's fine. Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's either James or some of my closer friends call me Falcon. So, or you can call me
James Falcone.
Falcone. All right. So since we got that out of the way, let's get to the intro. So before we get to the intro, I have to do what we're going to do is before and after the intro, I'm going to do a movie trivia question. And when we come back, we'll see if you guys know the answer. So, what actor from Fast Times at Ridgemont would go to be nominated 5 times and become a 2-time Oscar winner for Best Actor? Here's our intro.
Dun, dun.
Oh, does anybody have the answer? Who is
It
the
is
actor?
Sean Penn.
Yep, that's all I was gonna say.
It is Sean Penn. That is correct. Yeah, Sean Penn. That is correct. Um, that movie, we'll get to it, but that movie's got a lot of killer actors: Phoebe Cates, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Sean Penn, Judge Reinhold. I mean, Forrest Whitaker is in it. I mean, the list goes. Who's Roman?
My
Oh, Roman. Roman, your son. That's right. Oh, I'm like, Roman. Uh, what? This is not wrestling. We're not talking about Roman Reigns. Well, anyways, let's get crack-a-lacking. So let's talk about what our genre is. So I wanted to do a podcast. Like I can do like, favorite horror movie films of all time will take up like a year and a half just coming up with a top 10, a final number one, like doing 64 bracket at that point, if you're into college basketball. But yeah, I mean, so I don't want to do just like top 10 comedies of all time because there's so many subgenres, and that's what this is. We do top 10 subgenres.
I think Joe should be your Ed McMahon.
Okay.
I think he should be your sidekick.
Yeah. I like it.
Okay.
I like it.
Because I like being down here on the bottom. It's nice.
Okay.
It's a different shift. It's a different thing where I'm like, I'm a guest.
Be our guest. So we're gonna do subgenres like Marvel movies. We're gonna do like, favorite TV shows from Fox. So like we want to break down, like favorite 80's action movies that don't have Stallone or Arnold Schwarzenegger. Try
Favorite
that one.
animated movies.
Favorite Pixar movies.
You know what else we could do? Like favorite top 10 of a certain actor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actors. We can go absolutely anywhere. We're going to eventually talk about TV shows, and we're going to eventually talk about pop culture. And what's cool is that we're just very nerdy guys. Everybody that's going to be on the show, and trust me, if you're out there and you're watching and you want to be on the show because you love movies, join the AFW community. The link is down below. Join that community because I'm going to start posting in there throughout the week. If I don't have an idea, what I'll post out there and then post, hey, if you guys want to join, let me know.
I can see Shane being part of this episode. He's
Favorite
really
racing
into racing.
movies would be fantastic. Favorite.
Racer.
Yeah. So, anyways, what's our genre for tonight? Is this episode number 1, 80's teen sex comedies. So before we really
I
get
feel like you
in,
got an advantage of this because, weren't you
I mean, that's
weren't
my
you like a
prime.
teenager in the '80s?
Yeah, I mean, like that was a huge influence, and it's funny because I grew up very poor, so like we didn't have like extravaganza more than a rabbit ears and blah blah this and blah blah that. But my buddy Jim Dormady, he's got satellite, one of the big huge ones. So
Are you still like talking to Jim Doherty?
I do very occasionally, usually around birthdays, Christmas. Like, I mean, he's got 3 kids.
Yeah, yeah, because you brought him up several times
He
on the
was
podcast.
he was a very close friend of mine until he moved. So, but like that was prime time for me to get into those movies. And what really generated me doing this is I'm not. Sometimes I just watch a movie for the sake of watching a movie, but sometimes I get into a genre kick where I will watch a specific genre. I love Italian cinema. I believe that their 50s new wave movement, along with the French, changed everything about Hollywood at that time. And still, your auteur directors, your bigger, fancier names, will attribute to the French and Italian films in the 50s, Fellini and stuff like that.
So, you talked to some of your coworkers about coming on this
I have,
podcast?
yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I'm Majority of people that work in film are very socially awkward, and they are like I'm a gearhead, like because that's my job, and a lot of my friends that work in these departments are gearheads too. So some of them are film fans, some of them are just gearheads, and so yeah, the gearhead guys probably won't come on because it'll be an hour of us talking about aperture and aberrations on the lens.
Why? You have to explain to me why we lost 500 followers last night.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're not going to do that. There's an audio podcast that I've been that's for that, so just gearheads talking about gear, so. But yeah, so the 70s, the about 2 months ago, I started watching a lot of the Italian 70s teen sex comedies, and Hollywood ripped them off, sometimes shot by shot, and that's what influenced to come into these 80s sex comedies. And Hollywood's been doing it for years. They started doing it in the 50s, the will they, won't they, ooh, like innuendos galore to keep it under censors.
Now, I prefer the name coming of age films.
Yeah, yeah.
Teen sex is just like,
Yeah, here's the thing 80s comedies, some were very raunchy, some of them were not. They were a little bit tamer, I would say. But for the most part, yeah, they were, yeah, like a grip. I can tell you all about being a grip. Trust me, I've done it. I've
So,
done it for about 25 years.
so what you're saying, JV, is some of these movies couldn't be made today.
Yeah, yeah. Um, and some of them, I mean, it's hard to explain it, but yeah, it's really about two things. It's a coming of age story in the lead up to losing their virginity. That's the whole point. So um, when you talk about coming of age, that's John Hughes. I mean, John Hughes, some of it was bawdy, but for the majority, it dealt with adolescence and angst.
and we have
Because
one of his films on our list today, but I can say
we
which one.
do have one, yes. I allowed it because it's his raunchier of films.
Like
So
to me, this movie was so epic for me.
yes, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. When you're going through puberty, you're going to watch movies that deal also with the same issues of going through puberty. So, oh, you couldn't get away with kids. Absolutely not. Not, well, you could, but it would be an indie darling, where in that world you have usually no ratings to worry about. So
Well,
you
don't
can,
they usually hire adults to play these teenage roles, anyways?
most of them are above the age of 16. Yeah. It really depends. I mean,
Like
2 years
Fastball,
ago,
Ridgemont
two three
High,
years
they were
ago
all
they made a
adults.
movie. Yeah, 2 or 3 years ago they made a movie called Kids,
Oh
and it
yeah,
was, and it was them just it's 8, 9, 10 year olds swearing and getting into hijinks, and parent groups went freaking nuts. But I mean, again, super bad. It kind of picked up where the '80s sex comedies, and it went with a different way. So but yeah, so it has major Italian influence. It obviously was a huge influence for me too as well. Um, we'll eventually do. Often, what we'll do is usually we're going to do a John Hughes episode because I think that director influenced and changed me, and are still movies I watch on a yearly basis. So, well, let's get into the top 10. All right. So, coming in at number 10, um, now we're trying to keep it in the '80s. This is the only exception to the rule, only because this was kind of the granddaddy of them all. This is the one that kind of started it. It's Meatballs. Bill Murray's in it. In fact, Bill
and
Murray was
Bill Murray was hot.
Bill Murray was on fire
Yes, at
at
that
the
point.
time because he also starred in kind of I wouldn't call it a teen sex comedy. I would call it just an adult sex comedy. It was Stripes, with
And in
Oh,
him.
the trailer, they like you seen him on Saturday Night Live, but watch what he does to Summer.
Yeah, and it did well. It made well over its budget, but it was kind of the entrant because it was really in '79. This is the first time that the general public and your first batch of teenagers of Gen X are seeing this film, and it changes the rules because you're seeing women's breasts, you're seeing simulated sex, you're seeing hijinks, your shenanigans, which you know, I mean, we'll get to it. You never,
Yeah, we'll get to these movies. There,
you never
don't
know.
worry,
We
don't
don't
worry.
know what's on the
Trust
list yet.
us.
Yeah. Oh,
Joe
hey,
Joe Joe wrote this list down on a chalkboard, so like you can't even erase that stuff.
yeah. But yeah, it's a huge thing. Joe, your thoughts on Meatballs?
I've only seen bits and pieces of this movie, but it seems to me like it's Bill Murray, so I mean everything he touches is always going to be gold.
Yeah.
But it does seem like it's one of those quintessential like forbidden love between people who shouldn't have it sometimes.
Yeah.
So I mean, like I said, I haven't seen this movie all the way through. I don't know how it ends, but
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. What do you think, Aaron?
Yeah, I think I just finished watching the trailer, so um, he seems like he's coming across like uh, like your older brother or your younger uncle,
Yeah.
and he's trying to pull you along uh, in the joking sort of big brother young uncle sort of
The cool
way.
uncle.
Yeah.
Yes, the cool uncle. That's the
Yeah.
right. But yeah, and he also had a love romance with one of the other counselors.
Hmm.
But he's trying to help some of the young kids in this movie hook up.
Yeah. You know.
But I thought it was good.
This is like the basics of when you think of teen sex comedies. Like
Yeah.
this,
This so Meatballs is actually, I don't remember the name and I forgot to write it down. So it was a shot for shot remake of one of the early '70s Italian films that was about this camp and the shenanigans that would happen at the camp, and it was just nothing but a teenage sex rom. Come over to America, they toned it down a little bit because there's no way. Uh, I mean, I saw it when I was like 12, 13. I saw Bill Murray's name and was like, oh, I know who Bill Murray is. And I grabbed it and it was like, oh, there's a lot of breasts in this.
Well, I
So
guess
there,
we're getting Shane hungry right here.
ah,
I will say,
default.
I probably saw some of these movies younger than you because, fair warning, I was born in 1985. So
Yeah. All right.
definitely saw some of these movies when I shouldn't have seen them, that's for sure.
All right. So we got number 10. Let's go for number 9. These are not in order for some reason, but that's okay.
Number 9.
Yeah, where is the? Oh, there it is. Yeah, My Tutor. This came out in '83. So I'll leave it to you guys, and then I'll say my piece. What do you guys think about My Tutor?
You want to go
Joe,
first there?
I'll go. I'll go second all the time.
Okay. So yeah, this is definitely, if this is the movie I'm thinking it is, one of those where it's a teenage boy who's just horny for a hot woman is what it is.
Yeah,
Like, and I don't want to try and get us demonetized here, but yeah, like it's, I don't know how to explain it. Like it's obviously the My Tutor. It's very explanatory. He's the student. She's helping him out, and it just goes a little bit too far.
yeah, yeah. Aaron, what do you think?
I thought. I thought it was a. It almost seemed like it wasn't a comedy at times.
Yeah,
Yeah, not for what I remember. No, it really
no,
wasn't.
no.
But there's some definitely some cheeseball things, and he's like pulling the gun out. I only know how to shoot one way. I'm like, what? And then he puts it in. Then he puts it in his pants, and it's like, oh, I expect him to shoot his dick off at that point. But the part where he's on the scooter and they're riding down the road, and he's like, what are you doing with this kid? I was just like, oh, this is. I think it definitely doesn't hold up, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Yeah, like this is it's real cheesy at
yeah,
point.
This is like '83, I believe.
yeah. It's 1983. I mean, My Tutor had a really huge influence on me because the time that I saw this, which was probably freshman year in high school, I remember going to the Quick Stop to rent it and brought home. And I knew people that worked there because it was R-rated. There's no way they should have rented it to me. Not at a freshman at high school, but and the guy knew me and knows how much money I spend, and have worked there at various times. So I got to grab movies for free to watch, So, yeah, I mean, it had a huge, huge, huge influence on me because I had a crush on my teacher my freshman year. She was like my art teacher. I don't remember what the name of the course was I was taking in high school, but
There was a lot of cheese in the '80s, especially the front loaded of the
oh
'80s.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Front loader of the '80s, absolutely. Things got kind of a little bit more serious late '80s into the '90s, obviously, but yeah. Let's go to our next one. Number 8. Everybody loves this one. Number 8, Tony Danza special, baby. She's out of control. I'm gonna leave this to you guys first. Go for it.
Okay, I'll admit this is probably the one movie on this list that I haven't seen, so I can't
Yeah.
really contribute much to it. So I'll let Aaron have the floor for this one.
So I remember my mom renting this for me, and I was like, "Mom, do you know what you just rented me?" Because they were focusing on this girl, and that voiceover, the sun, beautiful, the moon, and they were
Yeah.
showing that her coming out, her boobs bouncing everywhere. Like this was like, I was
Yeah.
like, Does anybody watch?
Yeah.
And she's pretty much a nerd
Yeah.
that gets a makeover, and all of a sudden, all the guys want to date her because she's a drop dead knockout all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And Tony Danza, he's losing his mind because
Yeah.
his daughter, she used to be so innocent.
Yeah. It's interesting that you say that. To me, the one thing I will always remember, this movie I called, it's a movie I call a kill movie. It kills a lot of things, especially careers. It killed Tony Danza's career because this movie killed the 80s sex comedies and allowed those comedies, those teen comedies, to start becoming in the same vein. Because,
It was
like,
also a different time, though. Like
yeah,
the
it
era
was a
was
different
changing.
time. Yeah. So it killed that. It was the stopper of the 80s raunchy movies as you
It was
got more.
'89.
Yeah. And then, of course, then American Pie came and that changed the whole thing as well. But yeah, I mean, she's out of control. Like, to me, I liked it. It was endearing. I like Tony
It
Danza.
made budget plus $100,000.
Yeah. I mean, I like Tony Danza. There's nothing wrong with the guy. Yeah, he's kind of woo woo in the head, but I mean, hey, it's Tony Danza. Come on, he's the boss.
No, like all these movies are not going to be nominated for Academy Awards.
No,
So
not in a long shot.
they're all kind of equal in this sort of way. It's just like you're
Yeah,
right. Like this was the end of the era for this sort of thing.
yeah. Here's a confession. So I'm on a set as a PA, and I'm hanging out with the other PAs, and I happen to have had a couple of movies with me that I could watch when I
Kimmy's
get
all over
home.
the place. She knows all these. She needs to be
Oh,
on here too.
yeah, she definitely needs to be on here. But what happened was, so I'm hanging out and I have like a DVD player that I can attach to a TV, or I can just plug it into my MacBook before they got rid of DVDs. Um, and yeah, Tony Danza. And
Before you
Tony,
keep going, let me just say this.
yeah.
Ho Miklaus, young Tony Danza. That's what he's going to do for you.
Um, So I made yeah. So I got teased because I had like Predator, I had a Criterion version of Armageddon, I had all these like different varying couple horror movies, and then I got She's Out of Control, and they were teasing me, and so this one we had a couple of drinks at a bar, and we're at the bar, and this girl that he was hitting on, I kind of whispered something to her. He came and slapped me in the face. And I stood up and I go, "You're about to get your ass kicked all over Tony Danza." And I punched him and knocked him right off the head. There you go. Film set. It gets dangerous sometimes. You got to watch out. You got to duck and weave. So, all
So
right, let's go to number
not
seven.
only do we get these like opinions on movies, we get the
Yeah.
behind the scenes action star that JFB is. And like Tiffany, like JFB wants to take you out to Red Lobster,
Yeah.
buy you those nice cheese breads. Like, what's the deal?
It's cheddar bay biscuits is what they
Yeah,
are.
cheddar baked biscuits, right?
Yep. All right, let's get to the next one, number 7. All right, guys. I want you to go. Well, that's the Spanish version because it's the only one I can find that would load up. Yeah, so it's Can't Buy Me Love or No Puedos Comprar Mi Amor. There you go. All right, guys.
Joe,
Let's
have you seen this movie?
Yes, I've seen this movie. Yeah, I think from here on out, I've seen all the movies on the list.
Yeah.
Like this is such a talk about cheesy. This to me is like the quintessential cheesy teen romance movie. Like it's a geeky guy who's trying to be cool, who falls in, and the girl falls in love with him, and she rejects it at first, but finally comes to her senses. Like it's just it gives you that warm, fuzzy, happy feeling.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Can't Dry. Come on.
Can't Buy Me Love? Are you kidding me? I love this movie.
Yeah.
Not only is this like core memories for me, it is it is a Mandela effect that we discovered
Yeah, you're right.
on this network. We discovered the Mandela effect because I'm pretty sure that something got switched in the timeline because he's supposed to not get the girl.
Yeah,
And I watched it back a couple years ago when we were talking about this, and he gets the girl.
yeah, yeah. They ride off with the tractor.
Yeah. And Kimmy, yeah, Kimmy said this is her favorite too.
Yeah,
Super Wonder Store Bound to activate Kimmy.
yeah.
Um, I I like this. This could easily be number one for me. I love this movie so much. You know, but I get Joe's point. If you weren't, is it wasn't part of your childhood?
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. I'm
I
gonna
will-
say this. I'm gonna say this. I love this film, and I don't like Patrick Dempsey. I didn't like him in this film, but he was brilliant. I don't. I just don't like him as an actor. I think he goes off. I think this movie is the reason why he became the actor I don't like. So when I see younger versions of him, it kind of transference. That's allowed. And but this thing has been redone. It was redone with an all black cast, which was
Yes,
actually
I seen
fairly
part of
good.
this. I'm like, wait a second, this sounds familiar.
Yeah, I have seen it. It is actually a fairly
Is it the
really
same name or did they
good
change
movie.
the name?
No, it's Love Don't Cost a Thing. That's
Oh,
what it is.
love don't
Yeah,
cost a thing.
Sounds like a
Love
J
Don't
Lo
Cost.
movie.
Yeah.
Like
Um,
we'll just call it after that J Lo movie.
yeah. I've seen I've seen that. I've seen the stage play, on Broadway that Can't Buy Me Love. So I mean, like, this thing has endured, and it's referenced, and usually referenced in other romantic comedies
Is it?
or.
Would you say it falls into the cult classic yet, or no?
I think it surpasses it. The only bad thing that ever came out of that movie was Amanda, the girl that was the love interest. She passed away. She had mental health issues and didn't take care of them, and self medicated and became a junkie. And it's a very tragic end. But this movie, man, come on. Like, this was the number one, this was the last great teen sex comedy. Everything else kind of just dropped off after that.
But you could tell it's great because it's inspired so many other movies.
Oh God, yes. If you see anybody if you see any guy carrying any girl off into the sunset on a motorized vehicle, they told it from Can't Buy Me Love, bastards. All right, let's go to number
If it's a
four.
shopping cart, just let them go.
Yeah, just let them go.
Let them go.
Yeah, used to. I'm an avid shirt collector, and some of my shirts are very edgy. Let's just put it that way. So one time I had a shirt, and it was a picture of a guy on a wheel in a wheelchair, like the wheelchair handicap symbol that you see, and then a male symbol guy riding on the back of him with speed lines indicating they're going really fast. And below it said, "Save on gas, ride the handicap,"
Which we do not advocate here.
which we don't advocate. That's the reason why we have the scroll. but
I am getting judgmentalized from my wife over here.
but what happened
Hey,
was,
tell her if she has something to say about it to come on the show here and
well,
say,
hey, hold on.
step up
Hey,
or shut up.
let me finish my story. Let me finish my story. So the production accountant was on set, which is very unusual. But thank you, Shane. I suspect it's because the producers really didn't have actual real money but that's a whole different story. And that account happened to be in a wheelchair. And when I walked in, my jaw just dropped. And looked he looked at me and he laughed his ass off. And he goes, "Listen, dude, I'm going to tell you this. That's highly offensive. Please don't ever wear that again. But that's the funniest fucking shirt I've ever seen in my entire life." So I gave it to him. And when I saw him like 3 years after that, he still had that shirt and wore it proudly. So
Did he wear the shirt? Is the question.
yeah, he wore it. Yeah, yeah,
Nice.
he wears the shirt. Yeah, yeah. I run into him occasionally when I work on sets, and yeah, he's he's pretty funny. So all right, let's go to number 6. This is one of my all-time favorites. I know because I just watched it about 2 weeks ago. Just one of the guys. Gentlemen, go right ahead.
You go first on this one, Aaron.
Okay, so just one of the guys was I think this is other than like Tootsie with Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah,
I think it was the first time like they did this with a sort of like the high schooler.
yeah,
Like they did this later on uh, with soccer in I think in the early 2000s or whatever. But
yeah.
um, this was this is something that I definitely wouldn't have watched in the 80's.
Yeah.
Uh, I thought it was I thought it definitely doesn't hold up.
No, absolutely not. And they've tried, and it doesn't work in today's society. What do you
I
think,
love the
Joe?
part where she reveals that he's like, I have to show you something. He's like, are those what I think they are? What do you mean? Are those what you think they are?
It's good
Like,
writing.
what kind of teenage boy are you?
I will be. When we started talking about this list, like this movie didn't even pop into my head because like
Yeah.
I just didn't think of it in that light. Like obviously it's a girl dressing up as a boy because she thinks she's being, I guess, like colluded against, I guess for lack of a better word at the moment, in
Yeah.
a writing contest. Like so she leaves and goes somewhere else, pretend to be someone she isn't,
Yeah.
and just happens to fall in love with one of her guy friends. Like it's
As a guy.
yeah, as a guy, like she's catching the feels, and he's just like, "Hey, what's up, dude?"
What's
Like,
up, bros?
yeah, like it's just like I said, I didn't think of it, but it's a good movie. Like I think I mean, it's not something I would watch again. Like I said, I don't think it holds up. So
Yeah.
And a lot of these movies would be considered B movies to begin with.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah. I'm just going to tell you flat out, like, I mean, it's horrible because but I love this movie. There's no way from the day that movie was premiered, okay, would you ever have that movie remade again? It wouldn't just not work. I had a crush on Terry. Um, Her brother Buddy is in a buttload of stuff. When I say a buttload, I mean this guy's got like about 100 and something credits on his IMDb. So, yeah, he's got quite the yoke going on. That guy knows what he's doing. So, but yeah, I mean this is one of your this is not your first gender bender. Obviously, Some Like It Hot is probably the most famous one, where Jack Lemmon and what's his face, Bob Hope, cross dress so they can, as a band, to get paid with Marilyn Monroe. So, but they've been around. But
That was way before Tootsie then.
yeah, yeah. But it's one of the few where the woman becomes a man in order to get a story from a male perspective of going through high school.
Yes, she did.
She did, yeah. It was a soccer movie where she played the boy, yeah.
see,
So
I was thinking of that, but there's also like I think it was in the '90s where a bunch of boys. It was with Rodney Dangerfield, I believe, as the coach,
yeah,
dressed as a bunch of boys and girls to go play. What was it?
Yeah. Yeah, ladybugs.
Yep, that's it, Ladybug.
Let's not forget about white chicks.
God. Anyways, let's go to our next one. Number 5. Holy Christopher Columbus. It's John Hughes, Weird Science, 1985. You guys want to go first? You want me to go ahead and knock it out of the park?
Go right
You can
ahead.
go first if you want.
I was resistant to this movie when we were all discussing it because I believe that John Hughes deserves his own episode because John Hughes is probably one of the most interesting people you will have never met in your entire life. And we will do an episode about John Hughes. Let's go to Weird Science. This movie was fantastic. First of all, you got kind of a teenage looking Michael Anthony, or what's his Anthony Michael Scott. Yeah. So you're getting a first adult version, kind of a little bit older teenage version of him. You have the new guy Wyatt. I, I mean, you got Kelly LeBrock, who nobody, unless you lived in England, knew of, and she tore the scenery up. Every scene she's in, she's freaking amazing. And I'm not talking about just looks. I'm talking about her comedic
No, and
timing.
her presentation.
Yeah, her comedic timing is hilarious. She is not the goofball. She's the normal. She's the steady. She does the deadpan. So go ahead, guys.
Aaron, I'll let you go next. I know you wanted to champion this movie, so
Okay, so I fought hard to get this on the list because, like, I don't know if I'm gonna be part of this John Hughes episode, but I know I was gonna be part of this, and this is core memories.
Yeah,
John, like, I tell you what, I'm gonna watch this movie tonight if I can find it somewhere because, like, I don't know, like, you kind of feel like every kind of kid was those guys.
yeah,
You weren't if you weren't the popular guys, that's who you were.
yeah,
You had your one or two friends,
yeah,
and like I think someone threw a Slurpee at me at one point,
yeah,
and like for them to get all the revenge with this beautiful woman, uh, the nasty brother, like um, like I feel like this even was ahead of its time in 1985.
yeah. Absolutely.
Like this feels like without this movie, I don't know if we have Bill and Ted's Adventure and all that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about John Hughes is John Hughes made movies for the marginalized. He did not make movies for. That's the reason why John Hughes movies didn't cost a lot. John Hughes movies didn't really make a ton of money except for like Vacation and stuff like that. But I mean, what he did, the movies he wrote and directed, especially the ones with Molly Ringwald, because she was his muse. He wrote movies for her. And you can tell because of how well Molly Ringwald is shown
And
in the
this movie introduced that classic line.
yeah,
I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast. You eat
yep,
pieces of shit for breakfast?
yep, yeah,
This is a line that people still say.
yep, absolutely. Joe,
I mean, don't really have much to say. It just feels like John Hughes like traveled to present day to write this movie because it seems like a lot of kids would like that.
yeah,
Like the AI and everything, it just feels so surreal.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
bringing,
And it's ridiculous too.
yeah,
yeah,
but and imagine in '85 was probably 10 times more ridiculous than what we're thinking right now
Yeah.
because we live in 2025. So
This is somewhat possible with AI.
yeah. I mean, I'll say this. I never really got bullied in high school. There were guys, I went to a private school, so most of the people were from different parts and different areas and stuff like that. I think what got me through. I think what got me through high school is because I had so varied loves, like different genres of music, genres of film. So like
I
I
thought you
could
were saying you had a whole bunch of girlfriends.
no, but I can connect
Many
with people.
loves.
Yeah, like I could connect with people, like that kid that may be being marginalized or bullied. Like I can connect with them. Oh yeah, hey, I totally love Iron Maiden. You want to talk about Iron Maiden for a little bit, and eat lunch, and next thing you know, we're best friends. So, all right, let's go to number four. Number four. That came out in 1983. That is one of the early led Tom Cruise movies, talking about risky business. Go ahead, guys.
I think this movie really helped the guy. Name is not coming to my mind, but the guy who sang "Take Those Old Records Off the Shelf."
Oh, Steve Miller?
Was it Steve Miller?
Yeah.
Yeah, this really he revitalized that song.
It
Yeah.
introduced the song to a whole new generation. Is
Yes,
what
for sure. And like I
Oh, it's
remember
Bob
saying,
Seger. It's
yes,
Bob
that's
Seger.
good. I was like, that's not Miller. It's definitely
Yeah.
Bob Seger. But Bob Seger was like, we were singing this song much later after this movie came out.
Oh, absolutely.
Way like it
100%.
became like epic. Um, but yeah, this was really Tom Cruise's big coming out party.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, yeah.
this launched him after this movie.
Yeah. I mean, you had
He was
outsiders. You had outsiders. You had all the right moves. Like you had movies where he was in an ensemble. This is his first movie that's about him.
yeah.
That's huge. That's a big risk for a guy that necessarily isn't Hollywood standards. He's not tall.
he's not jacked.
But
Not
he is like very handsome.
yes.
Like all the
And
ladies love Tom Cruise.
He
and
was
the
a
thing
ladies'
with
man, that's for sure.
yeah, and the thing with it is he's got charisma. That's what sells.
Yeah.
You know, you
I
get
mean,
people attracted to you because you're charismatic.
and listen, and obviously the thing we're not talking about is
Yeah,
like the most recreated scene in all of Hollywood.
yeah,
You have Tom Cruise in a button-down shirt and in his underwear just sliding across the room.
yep,
Iconic, right?
yeah,
Yeah, it's iconic because you've
Just
seen
as iconic as the song.
yes, because I've seen it so many times in TV shows and other movies where they do it. Like it's just
yeah.
Wait a second, Joe,
I'll
have you
say
ever tried this move?
oh, of course.
Slide it, take those off the hairbrush, right?
I mean, not
Yeah,
necessarily the hairbrush, but I've definitely tried like
Well, you need the
definitely
microphone. Come on.
well, like I've simulated it, yeah, but
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Go close enough. Jeb, have you tried this move?
oh, absolutely, 100%. I also slid and slipped and fell off on my ass doing it. So, yeah,
It doesn't work as well on a carpet. I just say that.
no, it doesn't. If you're able to slide on the carpet, there's a good chance that the next thing you touch is going to kill you.
Zap.
Yeah,
Which did not make the list here. Zapped did not make the list.
it's not on the list. There's a reason why it's not on the list. One, it's okay, but yeah, there's a reason why it's not on the list. But let's talk about risky business because, to be honest, number one, you have a adult actress in the lead actress role. Okay, okay,
I think you just said yo baby.
okay. Um, but this launched Tom Cruise. Would Tom Cruise ever make a movie like this again? Absolutely not. Tom Cruise doesn't take risks in his career right now. That it was called risky business, but it was a risk for Tom Cruise. It was a risk for the production. to put all that. That movie launched the Tom Cruise that you have now.
They must have made a lot of money off this movie, JP.
I mean, if I recall, it made probably about I would say probably double the triple its budget, if I recall.
Yeah, like it probably had like a 400,000 budget or something because there wasn't a lot to it, right?
No, there wasn't. I mean, Chicago, which was a amazing city to film in at that time.
I
You
got the
had
numbers
a lot
here
of
if you'd like
factors.
to know.
What's that?
I got the numbers here if you would like to know.
Oh hell yeah, go through it.
So the film's budget was 6.2 million.
Okay.
So
Oh,
let me
wow.
ask you, for the 1980s, is that a lot of money for
Yeah.
Well, that's a pretty decent amount. What? How much again?
6.2 million?
6.2. Yeah, I mean that's
That's
a
high
studio.
budget.
That's a studio back film.
What year was this movie?
83.
83. And then
For 1983 movie, just in comparison, we talked about earlier, She's
Yeah.
Out of Control had $400,000 budget in 1989.
Yeah.
So Risky Business grossed $63,541,000.
So it tripled it. Yeah. Okay. I mean, here's the thing. I mean, this movie was not necessary. It was a teen sex, and it had comedy in it, but this was made for adults. This was made for adults. This wasn't made for a lot of teens. A lot of your older teens probably went and saw it, but that's not what drove box office. What drove box office was adults, and eventually the teens caught a hold of it, and then they went and started seeing it. So, all right, let's go to number 3. Number 3 came out in 1984. It is Revenge of the Nerds. National Lampoon's Revenge of the Nerds. All right, guys, wax poetic, if you will, about Revenge of the Nerds.
This
I
is your
love
pick,
this.
Joe. You go.
I love this movie so much. It's so great. It is. Now, I'm going to say something because I don't know if I'm getting Revenge and Revenge 2, but like when it comes to the sex part of it, like you have the lead, I'm drawing a blank to his name, in like the Darth Vader mask. Then
Yeah,
you have
that's one.
yeah, and then you have the whipped cream pies where you eat through it and you just see the naked girls on the plates, and that's how they're just selling so much. Like, and it's just all the nerds. You just see Miles, like, I mean, it's even blowing like the kissing booth that the girls have out
Yeah.
of the water. Like,
Yeah.
it's so great, and like especially the him and the Darth Vader, because like she thinks it's her boyfriend and it's not. She's like, man, I'm just with the wrong kind of guy. Like, it's just showing you that nerds are way more valuable than what you give them credit for.
Yeah.
And if you're a nerd at this time, you're like, yes, yes, yes.
What do you think, Aaron?
Yeah, definitely something that was 80's. Like, this is another one of those movies that is iconic.
Yeah.
Who's the big beast guy? What was his name?
Oh,
No, not Moose.
no, not Moose.
But he had a thing where he was pissing in the toilet, and it was like,
Ogre.
like this-
Ogre.
Yeah, Ogre. Ogre
Yeah.
was pissing in the toilet, and it was like, you're like, how long is this piss scene? He's just like, to me, that was something I remembered, and I was like, we were just laughing about it, me and my buddies.
Yeah. I love Revenge of the Nerds. The franchise is actually not that bad. A couple of the made for TNT movies were not bad either. Robert Carradine, I'll say this: Robert Carradine rode this franchise as far as it possibly could. He beat this horse until the horse died at the finish line.
Sure.
The Simpsons even did this as an episode.
They did, yes, absolutely. My favorite scene is probably the most iconic scene from the movie, and that's something that eventually became a trope where the nerds rise together to overthrow the popular kids. and
Yes.
that's the big concert at their fraternity house where they were, electric. Timothy Busfield, a legit actor, was in this movie. Not Eric Roberts. Anthony Roberts from ER, and a legitimate actor also from this movie. So yeah, Revenge of the Nerds. Oh god, it holds such a special place. But that concert and Lamar rapping on it,
Oh, it was.
chef's kiss. All right, let's go to number two. Number two is probably number two and number one are interchangeable at this point. That's how important they are. But number two that we ranked it was Fast Times at Ridgemont High. This came out in 1982. Whoop.
Can't buy me love.
All right, guys. Fast Times at Ridgemont.
Aaron, you can
John?
go first.
Oh, I'll go first. All right. So this movie was so controversial; it had people picketing it.
Yeah,
What they were trying to capture here was the truth of what the teenagers were like, and the rawness of like a girl without any like consequences or anything like that, just trying to figure out what to do about being pregnant, and she gets an abortion.
yeah,
And there's no sermon; it's just this is what she has to do.
yeah,
And Sean Penn, he did method acting in
yeah,
this. He would come to this movie as the guy,
yeah,
and he insisted everyone. And one of I guess the school teacher, I forget his name, the actor, he thought that's what he was really like.
yeah.
Um, the other thing is you had Nicolas Cage in this movie.
Mm-hmm. Very, very small role.
Yes, so he was he was originally cast in the main group,
Yeah,
but he had lied about his age. And they were like, well, we're gonna have to move you to the back of this small role here. But he said like this still pushed him forward because of what it was,
yeah, because he was in Valley Girl the year after was Valley Girl. So
which he was now
yep.
old enough to be in.
Yeah, and he's credited as Nicholas Coppola because he is part of the Coppola family. So, um, who else?
Joe?
I don't really have much more to add. Like I watched this when I was younger, so some of these topics were definitely a little uncomfortable for me to watch, just
Yeah,
because of the real life implications. But it also makes you appreciate the movie because most movies don't do this. They don't
yeah,
really approach real life issues with, I guess, like such like truth and like open heartedness and stuff like that. It's just it makes you think.
yeah,
And it's supposed like we're talking about comedy, but she's saying this was never meant to be a comedy. Like the
yeah.
director.
Oh, Amy Heckerling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I think what Fast Times at Ridgemont High was able to do is it was able to blend adolescent angst, so kind of like John Hughes, with your raunchier comedy, and merge it into one. It very much realistically gave you a snapshot of what it was like to be a teen at that time. The fact that unwanted pregnancies happen when so like it builds on kind of like horror film tropes, you know but in a way that is relatable in a common sense reality you have to deal with as a
Or
teen.
Sean Penn's character driving that car
Yeah,
and smashing it up and
yep,
then just sitting there in silence because that's what you do.
yep,
Not have some quick witty one liner.
yeah.
You're like, what just happened?
So let's go to number one. This is probably the undisputed to a lot of people. It is, of course, the movie Experience, Porky's.
Now, let me just say this: growing up, this was softcore porn.
Absolutely, 100%.
And that's what even the trailer is selling it like softcore porn. We
Yeah,
can't show you the titties, pretty much is what they're saying.
yeah,
We can't show you this action. What's going on in Porky's?
yeah,
You'll have to buy a ticket to see all this.
yeah.
Man, you want to talk about a movie that would not survive 2025?
It wouldn't survive like 10 years ago, 15
I
years
know,
ago.
man. Like, I just remember. I feel like I can't remember if it's the opening scene or not. I'm pretty sure it is, but like, it's like the boys spying on the girls with like their little hole drilled out, and they're sticking their dick through it, and then the teacher comes up and is like telling people like, just make all the boys drop their pants. I can identify it just by looking at it. I'm
Ah,
like, it's like, come on, like, what
I
are we
know what they
doing?
all look like.
I'll say this about Porky's. I saw Porky's not by accident, but my mom and dad went across the street to one of our neighbors, and I just kind of was feeling blah. And my parents happened to have rented Porky's. I don't know why.
Did they know what the movie was?
I don't know why.
I don't want to know why, but nonetheless, I opened it up and watched it. I was like 12, maybe, I don't know, maybe 11, 12, 13, like right around that age gap. But Porky's kicked this into high gear. When you talk about, there are movies that I call copycat movies, where a movie does extremely well, and then there's a bunch of copycats. So you get one that hits, and then there's a bunch of copycats.
So, do you
Okay,
think that this was influenced by the Russ Meyer films?
no,
No,
not at
not at all.
all. Nope, not at
Because
all.
they like to show a lot of boobs in those
Oh
movies.
no, don't get me wrong. I mean, we will do an episode about Russ Meyer, and primarily we're just going to talk about faster, Pussycat Kill Kill. Like that's the only one we're going to talk about. I mean, he's got a decent filmography, but that's the defining film.
The
Like
only reason I know about this Russ Meyer guy is because there's
yeah,
a Seinfeld episode about him
yeah, yeah,
with the big waitresses.
yeah. Um, so no, I don't think it does. Porky's just Porky's kind of took what Meatballs did and said, you know what we can do? Let's take Meatballs and let's turn it on its head, and then let's make it like 20 times more
Raunchy.
pornographic. And that's what they did. And they did it successfully. It's a copycat movie. To tell you, if from all right, so this came out in 81. From 82 to 84, not only did you have three sequels from Porky's, but you also had, I think it was like 36 films that were basically rip-offs of Porky's that came in that 2 year span.
Talk
The
about
other thing, right
accuracy.
thing, well, and the thing to remember with Porky's is in early 80's, you didn't really have these megaplexes. You didn't have these massive 12 screens. And a lot of films, including Porky's, would go in a regional distribution. So they would go into a region, they play around the region. Then they go up to the next region. So I could see a movie in Boston early in the summer. You may not see it till late spring if you live all the way in the West Coast. Just how many cities it
This is
hits.
just how it was done back then.
Could you
Yes.
imagine seeing Porky's on like a drive-in movie?
Actually,
There,
98.
I imagine that was a big thing.
Yeah, 98% of the theaters that showed it were drive-in theaters. Yeah.
I
So
bet you there was some babies, some humans created at this drive-in.
Porky Babies is a term
Porky
that is
babies.
used. So uh, yeah, there are people that will refer to themselves as a Porky's baby. So
I think Joe's a Porky's baby.
Couldn't tell
It
you. I
could
have no
be.
idea.
Find out from your mom and dad if they watch the
Oh
movies.
God, no. All right, let's get back on track
That's
here.
another story for another time, Eric.
Jeffy's a little scarred from from knowing his parents had this thing.
Yeah. So guys, hey, that's the end of the show. I kind of want to take just a minute. I got the opportunity to watch two movies last night that had a profound effect on me. I saw probably the second best horror film of the year, and that's the movie Weapons. Uh, it is a movie that deals with grief and does not compartmentalize it. It lets it expand. It's not very gory. There's maybe one or two, maybe three jump scare scenes, but it deals with it
So
with a
you're saying this is more than just a horror movie. This
it
is
is more than just
the
a horror
message.
movie. Yeah, if you're looking for gore, you're not going to get it here. There are scenes of blood. There is some scenes with weapons, which is funny because the name of the movie is Weapons. The other movie I saw, and it just hit digital, and I think it's in some theaters. The second movie that I saw, which actually was the first movie that I saw, was the movie from Spike Lee called Highest to Lowest. Now, the movie is a remake of Akira Kurosawa's original movie High and Low, which is about a based off of a book called King's Ransom. It's basically about a guy whose family, son, is kidnapped, and they have to go find him. Um, I love Spike Lee, and I'm a huge Spike Lee fan, and a lot of people don't, and it's because Spike Lee likes to make movies that get into your face in dealing with topics, most of them dealing with racism. Um, so I've always said that I would love to see what Spike Lee is going to be like in his later years. Inside Man was the first glimpse.
That was such a good movie.
Yeah, highest to lowest. After I watched that movie, right when the credits hit, I had tears in my eyes. That's how impactful this movie is.
Everyone, write these down. Write these movies down. Put them on your list.
Yeah, so yeah, I have. I'm writing. I keep track of everything.
No,
Um,
I meant the people watching.
oh yeah. You have to have an Apple TV subscription to watch it. Unfortunately, it's not. It was in theaters for 2 weeks for Oscar purposes. It's not in theaters anymore. You have to
Oh,
have
so
an Apple
High
TV.
School is on Apple TV. I have that.
Yeah.
I can watch it.
Now you can. I think they have a 7-day free trial for Apple TV Plus. Um, you need to watch this movie. This is Spike Lee as a gentleman, as a seasoned veteran, as a man who's had a lot of years making movies. He made an amazing movie. Uh, the gist of it is that Denzel Washington is a big time music producer who's lost his he lost his passion, and that's what some of this movie is about. In fact, a lot of this movie is about passion. And so ASAP Rocky is in it and is absolutely phenomenal. And I'll say this right now because I do want to do it in an Academy Awards style, but Spike Lee may very well win your Best Picture, and he may very well win Best Director. Denzel is most likely going to get nominated, and ASAP Rocky will get nominated as well. Uh, those two actors tore that movie apart with their acting enough to make me cry, which is very rare for me to do on a movie or at a movie. And this one just brought me to tears. So go see it. I'm going to see it again in about 3 weeks to see if it still has that same hit, the same impact. So it's not so fresh in my mind. But yeah, that's the end of the show, guys.
And what do we got next week?
Next week we are going to do greatest Marvel movies of all time. Now,
Not just
I may
MCU, right?
now
You can
It,
go back to the early
yeah,
days of the Marvel movies if you wanted
yeah.
to.
It has to be a Marvel character. It doesn't matter what movie studio made it. So Sony is up, Fox is up, although Fox is part of Disney now. But
Universal.
yeah, Universal. Like so, Spider-Man is on the board. It does not include TV shows. So unfortunately, Daredevil is not allowed.
No Disney Plus
Well,
show.
Daredevil has a movie which was horrible.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
we
that's
will. Yeah, which
spoiler.
most
That's not
likely
making
won't.
the list.
No,
Yeah, it most likely will not make the list. But here's the thing: maybe we get into this a little debate to kind of spice it up for next week. My question to you is this: what is the first ever Marvel movie? Is it Blade, or is it The Punisher?
it's the Punisher.
A lot of people don't consider The Punisher because it technically wasn't fully licensed.
Oh, is that why it wasn't getting the? But you also had the made-for-TV movie of the Hulk.
Yeah, well, that's a whole different story. That doesn't count either. But because I consider Blade to be the first Marvel movie.
I
It's the
think I
first.
do too.
It's the first successful Marvel movie. That's for damn sure.
Absolutely.
I'm
Yeah.
going with the Hulk from the
Oh
made-for-TV show.
no, that was
The
not
Lou
on the
Ferrigno.
board. You got a red flag. You got a red flag.
Yes. Red flag. I agree.
Yeah.
What, you're red flagging me for this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! I've got Shane. Can you hear this? I've got the red flags, the revenge flags, the red revenge flags.
All right, guys. End of the show.
Tomorrow,
Yeah. What are we doing tomorrow?
we're doing the power rankings. Are one of our best shows.
I love those shows. All
Yeah,
right.
guys.
So tune in tomorrow, 1 Eastern, for the All FM Wrestling Show, which we will go ahead and talk about the power rankings.
And
We're
not only we're going to do the power rankings, we've got the news.
Yep.
We're also going to reveal our special guests on October 5th.
Yep.
Don't want to miss it.
He's a signed AEW wrestler, former world champion.
Yeah.
And what else? Oh, yeah. And he debuted at a Double or Nothing pay-per-view.
Yep. Absolutely. All right.
Former FCW WWE product.
Yep. All right, guys. That's the end of the show. We will see you. Yeah, I think we'll see you next week. Yeah, absolutely. We'll see you next week. Episode 2, Marvel movies.
As they say, same bat time, same bat channel.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
And we'll be bringing back the comic book store next week.
Yes. Hell yeah. Here we go.